Yeah, this time we're seriously set to go. A bummer. Welcome, Nate. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the weekly beer show. Hey, are we live, Nate?
We are live.
We had a little bit of a snafu right before this. If you're a minute late, so are we. But ladies and gentlemen, people around the world, children, thank you so much for hopping on the show. If you've never been here before, welcome to the weekly beer show. Oh, Nate, are you excited?
Can't wait, man. It's been a long month. Yeah, I even have a glass falling over here.
Yeah, it's been a super long month. We were actually doing non-alcoholic beers. So if you haven't checked our catalog, you can go back and check out some great non-alcoholic beers. If it's something that you're interested in, something new that you want to try out, or if you actually need it. Welcome to the show. Good morning, Barrow. But we are back today. We are back and ready to go. We have alcoholic beers coming up. So don't worry, Nate. We're going to go ahead and get a little boozed up tonight. Let's go. All right, we got foosball in the house. Already people are here. We already got 5 people in the room. Please, guys, if you're hopping in, go ahead and hit that like button. And let's go ahead and I'll tell you about what we do here. If this is your first time here, we're going to go ahead and review 2 beers, 2 awesome beers today. We got an exciting show. We're going to talk about some things that come up in our life. We're going to go ahead and answer your comments. Then we're going to go ahead and bring you What Would You Rather. We're going to round out the show with some good news and a little what are you watching? What are you reading? What are you listening to? Guys, I got an awesome show, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for hopping on. For those of you that are returning, Nate, tell them what we do here.
You guys know what we do. We go to the 2 beers and we go to the scorecard. We got 5 different categories up, totaling a potential of 5 points each, 25 potential points. Today is the battle, Danny. Who's going to be the winner? And do we get a 25 out of 25?
I don't know, Nate. I have no idea. We've came close. We've been subject to an asterisk before. I'm not sure what that one came from. I think you went a little hog wild that day. But maybe today's the day. I don't know. I will tell you, if you watched last week's show, we did have a winner. We did a non-alcoholic stout series, and there it is. It was between the Sober Carpenter and the Saria. Or did I say that right? Saria?
Yeah, the Grain Wave from Saria. I think you quite liked that one, didn't you?
I did. Of all the non-alcoholic beers that we did, I felt like this was the best of them all. Yeah, boo, Jets suck. Okay. Yeah, I definitely felt like this was the best of the non-alcoholic beers. So sticking with the battle series, today we have a very specific battle. It is the battle of the Vermont, the state that is in New England, of the Focal Banger from Alchemist versus the Fiddlehead IPA. Nate, wow. What a way to drop back in, eh?
Hey, man, we're talking about 2 heavyweights from one of the most prolific areas in the craft beer world, New England at large. We get to focus on Vermont. The one on the left there, I mean, everybody knows it. If you're in this beer community, you know exactly what that is. But the Fiddlehead, I've heard a lot of good things about. I've never tried it. And apparently, when it comes to people in Vermont, they absolutely love that. So I'm curious to see how they stack up against each other. Both standard IPAs.
Awesome. I am really seriously interested to see how I'm going to stand up after the show. I kind of went with your non-alcoholic beer price. I stopped drinking for the last 5 weeks. Awesome. Inspiring. Nice. I figure a liver cleanse was a really good idea, and I feel really good.
Good. That's great.
Yeah. Mike, that's amazing. I'm glad to hear that. And I know that feeling because I went for 5 weeks too, as of today, as 5 weeks. But yeah, I feel a lot better, right? There's little things that you don't start picking up on. Like, honestly, like I love the beer show, but I love the show more than the beer. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm getting older. Maybe I've just done it all. Nate, what do you think?
In terms of what's the question?
Like, what is it? Actually, I should probably restate that. But what I really like is going off of Mike's comment. One thing that I really liked about going sober was the actual feeling of being sober all the time. You know,
that part of it I definitely liked. It felt like a reset. I did have a couple of beers last night to watch the World Series, and even just sipping through them, being sober for 30 days, I was appreciating each can a little bit more than I was prior to sobriety. So it seemed like I slowed myself down a little bit.
Yeah, and no better way to do it than to check yourself for a month or 5 weeks and just feel better. I don't know. And like I said, when you're about to get into what we're getting into, we're going to get smashed. We're definitely going to feel a little buzzed. We're definitely going to feel a little bit of, well, I know I am because I haven't had a single sip. Currently having a Duvel Strong Belgium on sale at Wegmans. It's amazing. Definitely recommended. Sorry, not alcoholic. No, I know what you're having. And Duvel, I don't know how you might say that, was actually, I think, probably one of the very first beers that I recognized that had strength to it. You know what I mean? Like, because it's massively put out there in Belgium, from Belgium, but it's also, you can find it at Wegmans or grocery stores. Yep. And when you drink this, Nate, you've had a Duvel. I mean, the thing, you drink 3 of them and it's like, turn the lights off. You know what I mean? Like, you're done. Hey, come on. Good morning, Miss Scarlett. All right. Well, Nate, without further ado, I say we just go ahead and get right into this. Let's do it. So today's first beer, we've already alluded to, is a very popular brewery, probably one of the most famous, if not the most famous brewery here in the United States. It comes from the state of Vermont. And guys, let me introduce you guys to the Alchemist's Focal Banger. Bang.
Pretty excited about this one.
Yeah, have you ever had this one, Nate?
No.
You haven't? No, okay, good. Okay. Now, I've had this one. I've had it in a bar out of a tap. So I'm excited to drink it again. Plus, coming off of 5 weeks.
What was your opinion then?
Great. Delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just really good IPA. Like,
so isn't it funny how they put the drink from the can on here, but obviously still have the opportunity to drink it out of a tap, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. If you see right here, it says drink from the can. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah, the autofocus isn't picking up.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. There it is. I'm going to do that thing that Natalie does. Drink from the can. Okay, right there. Drink from the can. But I did drink it out of a tap. Pretty cool. Alchemist. It's got this little weird scientist that mixes metals and stuff. 7%, Nate.
Yeah. This is the higher level of a standard IPA. Once you start getting into the 7.5 and a little bit higher than that, you get into the doubles. So this is I'm pumped about it. I'm pretty curious to see how it compares to the Heady Topper.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and what do we do?
Crack them, smell them, taste them.
That's right, partner. Let's go ahead and crack this sucker.
Ooh.
Oh man, that is what I love, dude. This thing is super danky.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
All right. I think it knocked my smell completely back from COVID.
Yeah, it's very, very heavy in the nose. The IPA standard kind of smell or nose that you get here is like multiplied by 10.
Yeah, it's very pungent, very danky, almost smells like moss. Very nice smelling. Let's go ahead and pour this sucker, Nate, and give it a look.
Are you going to pour the whole thing, Danny, or drink it out of the can?
No, I'm pouring the whole thing.
All right. I'm not. So I'm going to do just a little bit here so I can see it.
Oh, baby. There's a lot of joints floating around. Look at that.
Yeah, a lot of sediment. Look at that. Yours looks so cool. Look how light mine is compared to yours. I guess.
Yeah, that's strange. Why is that?
I think it's your background because your background's so dark. Mine's really bright right now.
Oh, mine's pretty. Mine looks like a regular. Look at that, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is a lot of. That is Morning Barrel and the time. Yeah, Tenacious Freak. This is really crazy that all this thing's floating around. I mean, very rarely can I pull it back by my face and you still see the floaties, Nate.
Yeah, I know. It's pronounced.
What's up? Look at this. This is bizarre.
Love it.
Well, welcome, Tenacious Freak, and everybody else. If you're hopping on, guys, go ahead and be sure to hit that like button. That helps us out. That helps, move things along within the YouTube sphere. All right, Nate, let's go ahead and taste it. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Oh, holy shit. That is a good beer.
I was going to college in Rochester. I lived with a buddy from Burlington who raved about the beer. I had posters in the house. Never got to try it. Oh,
it's worth a try if you can ever get your hands on it. That is good stuff.
Oh man, it is great. It's definitely worth a shot. Being in the Northeast, you probably have a better shot at getting it. Man, this is what we're drinking, guys, is the Focal Banger from Alchemist. If you've never heard of it, it is an IPA. And my first sip, Nate, I'm not over exaggerating. It's exactly what I like in an IPA. It's super old school. It's the description. Hey, Rick, it's the description that most people talk about when they talk about IPA that they don't like. That's the thing I like, is that really bitter kind of a pine taste, right?
Yeah.
I love that. This thing is, oh my gosh, is it nailing me with that flavor? What about
really,
you?
really good.
Yeah.
It's so complex. It's got so much character. It hits it out of the park from every angle. The nose is pronounced. You're picking up that standard and almost elevated IPA scent that you kind of come to expect. And of course, the flavor, like medium bodied, what you want. And that sediment in there, I just love that. I love those little floaties. So yeah, this is an exceptional beer, and I'm super excited to try it. This is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's refreshing. It's like that bitter refreshness. If those of you at home are wondering about all these little floaty flakes floating around in there, if they're gritty, they're not. I've had ones where you get it and it's almost like it's really gritty kind of, and it's still on your teeth. This one is not. It's really, it's weird. It's like, Nate, I don't know if you feel this, but you know when they say it's cold filtered, something about this is really smooth, man. It's like really smooth. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, of the process, whether those are just words that are ingrained through Coors and their marketing, but something about this thing feels like it's filtered correctly. And
Well, I think cold filtered is the fact that Coors is, it's a lager Pilsner, right? So that's the process of the fermentation, and the lagering is a cold process. So I think that's what that means. Where this one is an ale, right? So it's going to be warm fermented and top fermented. But yeah, like it's certainly, I see where you're going there though.
Delicious. Loving it. Get ready for bed and make beer makes me want to get out. I know what you mean, Rick. I know what you mean. But don't worry. There's plenty of beers. This is what we're drinking now. Nate, let's talk sports, buddy. What happened with the Phils?
Hey, they made a run and fell short. Better team won. Thought they had enough magic in them, but it was probably game. It surprisingly wasn't the no-hit game, which was game 4, I think. It was game 5 where it was really the heartbreaker. I was like, man, they're going to come back after that no-hit. They're going to win one more at the bank with that crowd, and they'll win one in Houston, and that didn't happen. They ended up losing that last game in Citizens Bank, and it kind of felt like the series was over. When I went out last night, I was hoping for a little bit more magic. I just didn't feel it, and they gave us a lot of excitement from that first game against St. Louis when they were down 2-0 in the top of the ninth, and they ended up winning. Rolled all the way through the World Series. Nobody expected it. It was a blast, and I wish they won, but they didn't. I would love to say congrats to Houston, but fuck them.
Yeah, fuck Houston, right? I mean, the only thing I like about Houston, I guess, is Dusty Baker, but I would have been very, very pass. I would have been very, very happy if the Phils won. Hey, you guys had an unbelievable season. I remember at the beginning of the season, you expected nothing, to the point where you weren't even really that even jazzed about it. It was like, yeah, the Phillies were on. And baseball is tough because, it's hard to watch this many games, 162 games. But what the hell, man? What a season. They came on late before the season was even made over the World Series. And, they came on as the wild card. They won that game. Then they came in and beat San Diego really good. And, there was a point in there after they had won and they were up 2-1, was it? Where they blanked them. I was like, dude, the Phillies are going to win the World Series, man. I was really confident that they were going to be able to do it. But cheers to the Phillies. Thank you. Nate, sorry you couldn't pull it off, but
hey, the Eagles right now, so it's a decent consolation prize. Get the fun of the atmosphere of a postseason run of baseball and get to watch your football team be undefeated.
Yeah, let's shift gears and get right into that football. The Bills lost today. Damn it. Fuck. Terrible. They looked like I want to say this. They looked You know, some teams look bad because they look bad. They're not playing right. You know, obviously Matt Milano wasn't playing. Trey White's still not back. But it was the New York Jets defense that made Buffalo look bad. It wasn't Buffalo. You know, people will always say, "Oh yeah, Buffalo looked bad today. It's almost up." That was the New York Jets defense. You know, the AFC East is actually a very scary up and coming defensive division, right? Miami just got Bradley Chubb. Watch out. Okay, next 3 or 4 years, if the Jets continue to play like this, watch out. And the Bills, you know, if they sign Edmonds and they sign Trey White after this season, they're going to be pretty good. They got a couple of lockdown corners. I don't see why. You know, it's actually good for football. Like I like this, right? It reminds me of the early '90s when the divisional races between Miami and Buffalo were actually a rivalry. It wasn't just New England mopping everyone up, you know. It sucks they lost, but you know, to be honest with you, if the Bills finish 13-4, that's an incredible season. You know, the thing that sucks for the Bills, we're 0-2 in the division, Nate. That's the second, you know.
Yeah, I think they'll figure it out. They kind of need a little bit of this. They still got guys coming back. You know, they took a couple of shots from divisional opponents, and they need to win the second, you know, the second games. And I think really Buffalo is the whole point of the Bills this year is getting themselves ready for the playoffs. I think that's part of this a little bit. I mean, this isn't the NBA where you can coast, but I think there is part of it where they got to grow a little bit as a younger team and understand how to win in the playoffs. And they made it to the AFC Championship last year and lost on a historic kind of a drive from Patrick Mahomes. So I think they're there. They're just going to have a couple of speed bumps. The Eagles will too.
Yeah. Foosball says the Astros are the Pats of baseball. I kind of agree with that. It was just kind of, you know, the thing is, I was talking to Nate about this. If they didn't have the whole whatever it was with the cheating and the electronic thing and the garbage can, they're actually a really dominant team the last 7 or 8 years, you know, or 6 years.
But that's the thing. If you take out that if you add the asterisk, it's such a big one where it's really null and void. You know, that's the whole point is that 4 years of the 7 are under in turmoil and under review.
Well, it's the whole thing with baseball. If those guys weren't juicing or UFC, if they weren't taking performance enhancing drugs, would TJ Dillashaw be as popular and be mopping up people? Right. Same thing. I think John Jones was pissing hot one time with picograms or whatever. But it's a debatable subject. I don't know. Anderson Silva was popped, but yeah, if they weren't taking that, or the same thing, if they weren't cheating, who knows? It doesn't matter. This is the beer show. This is what we're drinking. It is called Focal Point Heady Topper. It is the same brewer as the Heady Topper and the Alchemist. And, this is one of the most prominent beers that America has to offer, or the world, Nate.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to prowess and reputation, you know, Heady Topper and Alchemist and Focal Banger are 2 of the best beers in the world. There's no doubt about it.
I almost want to stir it up. See all the sediment, guys? Take a look. This is what you're going to get with an unfiltered IPA. See all that? What is that, Nate?
It's I'm pretty sure it's proteins from the hops.
Proteins from the hop.
Yeah, so it's like hop flakes and protein, particularly in this beer. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. You don't really taste it. I wonder if I'm going to get a big gulp of it at the end. I'm not sure, but like I said, this is from the Alchemist, one of the biggest breweries in the United States. Nate, let's go on a little tour of the Alchemist.
You got it. All right, guys, we've actually done this tour before. I tweaked it just a little bit. As you can see, love their kind of logo, love their imagery. An Alchemist, Danny, I don't know exactly what an Alchemist is, but I'm pretty sure the whole idea behind it is you need to take away matter to make matter. But when you make something, you also have to take something away. There's some kind of weird thing about what an alchemist does. You know?
An alchemist is somebody that works with metal, and they're able to change the shape and not the shape, the chemistry of it. They're able to take
I should have done this before
they're able to take like iron and make it gold, or they do some kind of weird thing like that.
A person who transforms or creates something through a seemingly magical process, something highly imaginative. What? Yeah. So basically, what I think it is, and I want to say I learned this. Where the hell did I learn this? But I think it's the process of taking something, or sorry, creating something. But when you create it, something has to be taken away from that world. So you can't just make something. You have to take something. That thing perishes, and you create something new. But you can't do it without taking something away.
Yeah, that sounds like a more logical.
Anyway, sorry guys for that little detour there. But there's their credentials. Check out their website. Their Instagram and Twitter accounts are fairly active, especially Instagram. Pretty cool. Where are they located? Great. They're based out of Vermont. Danny, have you ever actually? No, you mentioned you have never
been to Vermont. Yeah, it's one of the 6 I've never been to.
So this is located in Stowe, Vermont. As you can see right there, part of New England, and New England being a very, very hot spot for craft beer.
I love it.
Today's beer is the Focal Banger. It's an American IPA of the standard variety. It comes in at 7%. Look at these check-ins, Danny. They are impressive. 156,000 check-ins at a score of a 4.41. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Heady Topper was a 4.39, but it also had like 100,000 more check-ins. So so that weighs a little bit, right? But that is an exceptional score. You can see the picture over here on the right while Danny goes and checks on that score. Here, I found there's a ton of reviews when you research Focal Banger or Heady Topper. There's just a lot. People over dramatize these beers, romanticize them. Right, it's such a big deal. But what the brewers say here, which I thought was pretty cool, an American IPA hopped judiciously with Citra and Mosaic. I absolutely picked that up. I'm not so good at understanding the hop flavors independently, but I do understand Citra and Mosaic, and this is exactly what it tastes like.
90 out of 100. What's that?
I should have put the credentials down for it. It's just a review. It's a score. Here is the Alchemist Brewery in Stowe, Vermont. Look at how beautiful that is.
Man, that is an awesome place.
This must be obviously in the summertime, Vermont being in the northeast part of the United States. The winters get very, very heavy. Vermont is a place famous for skiing. Am I right, Danny?
I mean, it's famous, yeah, for the outdoors and skiing and a lot of the greenery. I think there's a lot of lakes there. There's a big lake there. It's close to New York. It's also close to Montreal, which is a big Canadian city.
There's another view of the Alchemist Brewery. Quite beautiful. Like that. I don't know. I just think it looks awesome. I love the Focal Banger can as well. This is pretty cool. You can see the Focal Banger, and right next to it's the Heady Topper. These are their vats at their brewery. That's pretty cool. They look exactly like the cans. I thought that was awesome.
That is.
And that is John Kimmich right there. He is the famous creator, owner, purveyor, whatever you want to call it, alchemist, whatever, of the Heady Topper and Focal Banger. The intensity with which John approaches something as simple as drinking beer from a can versus a glass is the same as that with which he approaches everything. And that's what makes the Alchemist so special. So there's a lot of information you guys can read up on John Kimmich. He's quite a popular person in the craft beer world. But that right there, guys, is the brewery tour for the Alchemist.
That was awesome, Nate. That was really good, man. I love finding out about these craft breweries because I think you said also a very important point is they're dramatized, or you said something like, they're talked about look. You get your hands on a Sierra Nevada at any local grocery store in the United States, you're good. You're good. You're fine. Like, you know what I mean? If you can get this Heady Topper, well, at Focal Point, you're pretty good too. This one is definitely something to try. And I'm curious to see what people are saying all over the world one-on-one, because when they check in, I'm not going to read all their comments and stuff like that, but I want to see what it's like to drink a bunch of these all the time, because much like a stout, Nate, I think that this kind of beer is something that you really can't drink a lot of in one sitting. I can feel it now. I haven't drank a lot, and we'll probably do a bunch on Thanksgiving. But after drinking one of these, if I was to drink 3 or 4 of these,
Well, they're just so intense. They're so rich. It's so heavy on the palate.
yeah,
And these things they'll smack you. You know, that's the thing about these New England IPAs, especially you get into the double variety or the triple. And you know, I've had the nights where I've had 3 or 4 at 9, 10, 11%, and I still feel the effects of the overstimulation of my palate and me kind of becoming slightly sick over it. And I pick up a lot of that from this. It's just something about the dankness of this beer that, you know, it can be good or bad.
it's funny that you said that because I've never actually heard that talked about. But the richness, right? There's a richness to these beers.
Yeah.
You know, you dive into these cakes and these heavy duty desserts and stuff like that. There's a richness to it. There's something that just like piles in, like I can't do it anymore. It's just too rich. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like these beers. So this one holding true to what its brand is. It is definitely a spectacular beer, and really enjoying the flavor of it. The taste is really prominent. If you like IPAs, if you like that dankiness, if you like that piney taste, that moss flavor, this is it, man. This has got it. This is the IPA. This is the true IPA right here.
Yeah, I mean, so it's funny. Like if you know when you want to find a crushable beer, the typical adjectives you'll hear for a style of beer like that is clean and crisp. Yeah. This might be clean. It's not crisp, right? It's very, very heavy. So you know you'll typically find something more crisp and clean in your pilsners and your lagers, but this is definitely more dank. It's almost like you're kind of drinking like an ounce of weed.
An ounce of weed. That would be nice, man. That would be nice. Been a long time, but hey, guys, you know what else has been a long time? It's been a month since I brought you some good news. So let me go ahead and bring you some good news, guys. I'm gonna blast you with some photos. Check it out. Right here, this woman right here is somebody not only who is very pretty, but I want to read to you guys the good news. And she just loves cleaning. Okay. A woman loves cleaning so much that she gave up her job and is now traveling the world scrubbing homes for free, helping women who need a huge hand. Wow. Check it out. Lady is just cleaning up. Ari Cardriano was a service manager at a cleaning company in Finland in the summer of 2021 when she decided to quit and follow her unique passion. Okay, I know people that don't clean shit. My dream is to clean for free all over the world and help people whilst doing something I absolutely love. You can come over here anytime you want. My stovetop could use a good scrubbing, said the 29-year-old, who's been a bit of a social media sensation. I mean, not only is she beautiful, look at this sty that she's cleaning up, dude. That is disgusting right there. This story is not actually about her. It should be about what kind of pig lives like that. I've always loved cleaning, and I began posting videos online of me just cleaning my family, my friend's home 2 years ago. Then one day, a woman asked me for help because she was struggling so much and her home was so messy. She had 3 kids and her husband had just taken his own life, so she was finding it really difficult. Yeah, okay, I understand. Look at it. I mean, that one is pretty bad too. What's that, Nate?
I'm just laughing at these pictures.
Oh, dude, Ari, who says she's in heaven, heaven, wherever she cleans, is more than happy to help. In fact, she was excited to help. I went on a weekend and cleaned her home for 2 days. By the end, she was crying, and her kids were hugging and thanking me. I could see transformation in the house and how happy they were. It was the best feeling ever. That's actually really good news. The young woman from Tampere has gone so far as the USA and the UK to help people who are in desperate need of decluttering and cleaning. Wow, that is awesome. First of all, shouts out to you, Ari, in Finland. Okay, haven't been up to Finland, but I miss Jens. Jens hasn't touched in for a long time up in Norway. But dude, come on, look at this. The woman goes and scrubs away. Look at that happy face. All right, look at that thing, dude. I mean, seriously, I don't know if that was staged or what do we got going on in there? There's egg crates and there's all kinds of like It almost looks like buffets, like who eats like out of buffet trays. But the fact that this woman has found her passion in cleaning and found a way to, she is pretty. Oh yeah, definitely, Barrow. Hit her up on IG, Barrow. You know, hit up them DMs. The fact that she's traveling the world, cleaning people's houses. Man, that's freaking good news. That's really good news. Because you know, Nate, when you clean, and Nate is a bit of a clean freak. I noticed when I come over his house, I've always kind of envied him and been a little jealous of his meticulous cleaning way. But I mean, he's definitely a OCD about it. You know what I mean? Like I like to have a good party and clean up, you know, have food and cook food, and then leave the dishes and get them in the morning. Not Nate, dude. He's all tweaked out, like, ooh, I gotta clean him, I gotta clean him. And but I will say, at the end of it, you do feel better, right? You feel better. I'm just more, you know, let him sit in the sink overnight kind of guy. So I can understand we're letting months and upon months and build up. Cleaning could really change your mood. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Hoarders, Nate.
Dude, so what's going on with these people? We've been making fools out of them for long enough. Have we figured out what the issue is with these people? Is there a psychological imbalance, chemical imbalance in the brain? How can this happen? That picture,
definitely.
You can't even get to the back. You can't get to the kitchen. Are they just standing there throwing stuff into the kitchen? They never use it. Dude, where do they sleep? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, me either. I mean, there was. I've seen hoarders where they were lifting the mattress up and they found their dead cat. I mean, that's disgusting, dude. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a couple of things I don't like any dairy to be left in a bowl overnight. Like,
nobody likes that.
You know what I mean? Like, no, there's people out there that like.
Yeah, well, of course, but that's like those people are the people that need whatever her name was from Finland.
I mean, but there's been times where, you know, I'm not going to lie, I've eaten a bowl of yogurt or a bowl of cottage cheese with fruit, and then you set it down and you leave it overnight, and it gets hard, bro.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were about to say that you actually finished a thing of cottage cheese that sat out overnight. That's yeah. That's
no, hell no, dude. Yeah, I know. Never go near curdled shit like that. But yeah, it's really like people that are. But on the other side of the hoarders, there's also a neat freak obsession, and Nate teeters it. Nate's really a teeterer. Like when I go to his house, yeah, it's very clean. I feel almost ashamed of myself because I'm not that clean.
Thank God.
You know, I'm clean, like I don't smell. But anyway, that's a good news.
No.
I helped you. Well, I don't know about you, but when somebody says dirty or clean, what do you think of? I think of smell.
Not really. We're talking about two different things here. We're talking about hygiene versus, how you keep your house. It's hard.
Yeah, my house is
anybody's opinion seriously if they stink or if their house looks like that. So go clean up your fucking house.
Yeah, and also I don't have a wife, but also like I have a lot of pile-ups. My house tends to sometimes look by the end of the week like when the Goodwill gets its new shipment and there's the piles of clothes.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, I know you can. I've been around it, bro. Anyway, doesn't matter. That's today's good news. This is what we're drinking. It is the Focal Banger, and it is from Alchemist. All right, check that out. These are delicious. What?
Nothing.
Focal Banger. We're back on it. I feel the sauce going through my veins.
It's pretty interesting after a 30-day layoff, isn't it? Like it creeps up on you a little bit quicker. Yeah, I noticed that on the first couple of sips. I was like,
same old feeling, just a little faster.
That's it.
And after the show, I'm actually gonna do 3 beers tonight. I'm gonna go on. I've been wanting to try this beer for a long time. I'm gonna do it tonight. We reviewed it. It's called the Abel Baker Habanero Porter. So
the 5 pepper porter.
I'm gonna drink it after this.
All right, I'll hang out with you afterwards and drink one with you.
Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, that's what we're drinking, guys. It's time for a little shift. Now we're going back to show and tell. And I know it's been 2 months since I put the Vietnam videos out since Travel Man Dan, but I gotta be honest with you. I've been extremely busy. I've been hopping back into the acting game. The acting game takes a lot of my energy at night. I go to school. I rehearse a lot. This weekend, I took some new headshots. So a lot of my creative outlook is actually being put towards that, which is fine for me. I'm going to continue doing Travel Man Dan. It's just going to go at a slower pace. So I forgive myself of that. And I hope that you guys would be understanding. The videos are coming out this month. And I also want to put a lot more attention into the beer show and the live show. So, with that being said, Vietnam and all, today's show and tell brings us to the Vietnamese water puppets. Check this out. This is what I bought. Check this guy out. My name is Sergio. Hi guys. How you guys doing? Okay. So this is very, very Chow Man, what city is the best bars in the US, best beers, best food, best
Damn, that's a loaded question.
Yeah, okay. We'll get to you in a minute, foosball. But check it out. This is the Vietnamese water puppet. And if you've never seen these, go ahead and Google it. I got this one. This is an authentic, real one. Check it out. It's badass. I love this guy. I call him Sergio because he looks like my friend Sergio. But, yeah, he's great, man. He's fanning people down. He's Vietnamese. And each time I go back to Vietnam, I'm going to get another one. But this is today's show and tell, the Vietnamese water puppet. All right, let's go back to Travel Man Dan. What has the best city for bars in the U.S., best beers, best food, and best service? All right, that's a loaded question. Is right. All right, Nate, let's do best bars. I'm going to go best bars. Best bars for me in the United States would be, are you ready for this?
Dude, you're going to say fucking Nashville, dude? You are. You're going to say fucking Nashville.
I am. I really like Nashville, Tennessee.
Really?
The reason I like Nashville, and I never liked Nashville before, but I was recently there. I like the live country music. I like that everybody, hey, mega.com. Yeah, AI dating. I like that every song is good, whether it's a cover, whether it's just good, man. So that's for me. The best beers, San Diego, California has got really good because it's all craft beer. The best food, Buffalo, New York, baby. And the best.
Guys, you can't be biased, dude. Come on, you can't say Buffalo, New York. It's not the best food.
It's the best food, bro.
It's wings and pizza.
I like it. That's the best fucking food. He said best food. All right. What's the best bars? Best.
All right. So
we're not talking. No, we're not talking like here's a scallop with mushrooms and areola sauce that you're going to be incredibly hungry after eating. I'm talking about
nipple sauce is what he said.
No, areola or whatever.
Aioli, asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. Aioli.
Areola sauce. Fucking hey, dude. I think you're on to something here.
Yeah. Okay. So nothing wrong with nipple sauce or onion sauce. So the best service, I don't know, man.
Somewhere in the South.
Probably in the South. I don't know. Definitely service. I've been really disappointed with the service industry ever since I came back from America. So it's not because of COVID. It's been when I came back to China 5.5 years ago. Right. I was like, aren't you working for? I'm the one eating here. I don't understand it. All I asked for was a ramekin of blue cheese. So yeah, I don't know. So that's my opinion. Sorry, loaded question. No, we like the loaded question. Nate, it's your turn.
I'm gonna do bars and what was it? Breweries? What was the other one? Sorry, bars, best food, and best service. So for best beers, San Diego, agreed. Best bars, I'm also gonna do San Diego. Why would you want to be anywhere else? Best weather in the country, ocean views, tons of beer. Yeah, I just
Milwaukee.
No, fuck what? And then for food, maybe Portland or New
You never
York.
been to Portland.
Yeah, but I'm just going off of what I understand.
No, you got to be there.
My personal opinion, like where I've been, then New York. And I'd say for best service, nowhere.
No, he went with the heavy hitter, New York. All right. Western
Spent a
New
lot of
York?
time.
He probably means Western New York. All right. Moving on, guys. This is what we're drinking. It is the Focal Banger. It is the IPA, the other IPA from the Alchemist. It is delicious. It is awesome. It is time to score it and then get into the second beer. Nate, let's go ahead and whack this sucker down. Did you whack it down all the way?
Yep.
No, that means no. I
am not finishing Focal Banger. I will not finish a Saria Grain Wave. It's dog shit.
All right. His body language proved otherwise, but I don't know. All right. Okay, let's go to the taste. If you go ahead and try this out, you're going to absolutely love it. Now, there was a lot of like little flaky things floating around. Didn't taste them at all. It is delicious. It is the iconic, it is the purest form of IPA tasting that I've had in a while. It's not the IPA. It's not a hazy. It's not this. It's not a Fruity Loops. It's just a regular IPA. It's delicious. 4.5 on the Focal Banger.
5.0 for me. 5.0. It's awesome.
Wow, gets right to it. All right, the price. This was a gift. Nipple sauce. Clip it. Glad I asked. Love this show. Thank you, Foosball. Let's bring that comment right up there.
Yeah.
Nip, we love you, bro. Thank you so much.
So, Danny, the price of this is, just so you guys know, friend Gary sent this over to us. It's $6 a can. Now, here's the craziest part about it. You can only buy 2 cans of this beer when you go buy it. If it's not at the Alchemist, at the brewery, and you're in, let's say you're in Massachusetts and you want to buy it from a store, you can only get 2. And if you want a heady topper and you want a Focal Banger, you can only get 1 of each. You can only take 2 out of the store. That's how crazy this beer is. So $6 a pop, and you can only get it at the brewery, or if you're in a place, you can only get 2 at a time.
I mean, I kind of like that. I mean, the thing is, it's $6 a can. It's worth it, guys. If you never tried it, believe the hype. I'm going to go ahead and say, on price-wise, is it ideal? No, it's not. But you're not drinking something that you can get your hands on. So I think that brings it up a little bit. I don't think it's a bad price at $6. I've seen other beers that are a little bit more popular up around shit. We paid for the one seasonal one out of Chicago from the Goose. We paid like $30 for that. How much?
25.
Yeah, it's like $25. So I think $6 for to get in the conversation isn't that bad. I'm gonna go ahead and give a score of 4.0.
Yeah, I'm going 4.5. I agree. This is, you're not paying $6 for a Modelo here.
You're high five.
You're paying for a unicorn. You're paying for the exclusivity of this beer. Just like if you want to get a McLaren, they only make a certain amount, and the price is driven up. Not everybody can get them, but the people that can get them, they pay the premium to do it because they want it. I want this beer. I will pay $6. For me, it's a 4.5.
Okay. All right, let's go on design. Let's take a look at the design. Oh, that was a bad idea completely. All right, I was trying to go with a little something, Nate. You missed it. All right. This is the Focal Banger. Look, it's got everything you want. It's black. It's silver. It's not the Raiders. All right. I like that. And the cool thing I like about this is, where's the heady topper?
It's basically an inverted one, right?
Yeah. That's right. Let me pull up the heady topper because it should be in the front row.
I got it, Danny. You want me to get it?
No, it's right here. I knew it was right here. I like this. Okay, so this is the heady topper right next to it. Okay, so they're basically the same wizardry going on, but this one is silver, this one is black. I think that's cool. I like that a lot. I like the front cover of that. I think it's interesting. It does have a story, but I don't have my readers. It's got a kind of a lengthy story, but I think that's bitching. I'm going to give it a score of 4.5.
I'm going 5.0.
Dude, who the hell are you today?
This is what it's supposed to be like, right? It's not a sticker. They're not taking the cheap route. All right, they're embossing this onto the aluminum can. They take the entirety of the can. They've got a massive story here, right? They tell you about Focal Bangers, an American Indian Pale Ale. We have real love for IPAs here at the Alchemist, and we strive to offer you the best hop experience that we possibly can. This beer is brewed using Citra and Mosaic hops and our favorite British malts, truly an abundance of hoppy goodness. Freshness and control have always been my main concern when it comes to our beer. We are committed to providing you with an unfiltered and unpasteurized hop experience. Why do I recommend that you drink it from the can? Quite simply to ensure a delightful hop experience. The act of pouring it into a glass smells nice, but it releases the essential hop aromas that we have worked so hard to retain. If you must pour it into a glass, you may find that some of the hop resins have settled into the bottom, leaving the can when pouring. This beer is perishable and is best when it's young, fresh, and hazy. Keep it cold, but not on ice. Drink this beer today. You could be dead tomorrow, John Kimmich. That is an awesome story. That is why it gets a 5.5. Awesome artwork, consistent with their other beers. The inverse of Heady Topper. There's nothing to dislike about this. It's a 5.0.
I like it, Nate. I like the strong choice. Hey, Murphrod. I was thinking about you. Murphrod, no problem. What should I bring to Thanksgiving? I know you like wine. You want a little Cab. You want a little Sauvignon. You want a little bit of Merlot. All right, let me know, Murph. I'm coming for Thanksgiving.
Oh, man, you are a fucking trip, man.
All right, moving on to accessibility. I like that it's kinky, hard to get. I think it's cool. I think it's neat. It's popular. People in the beer world absolutely know it. So I'm giving it a score of a 4.0. No,
You're
not
going
just
back to accessibility, Danny. Everybody knows we call it popularity. We went through the entire thing. It is
popularity 4.0.
4.0. It's got to be 5.0. This is considered, it's the Mecca. It's from one of the greatest breweries in the world. It is a beer that you can only get when you go to this little, look at the town it's in. There's nothing around it. You've got to drive hours from an airport to go get this thing. And if you go to a store where they have it, you can only get 2 cans. That's insane. 5.0, not even close.
Wow. And I got scolded. All right, moving on. Within the same 2 minutes, I got laughed at. I probably said Sauvignon wrong or something.
No,
it's a type of wine, guys. If you guys don't know, it's a type of Sauvignon is a wine. All right, going with the TMD X Factor. Look, anytime I can get my hands on one of the best beers that are talked about in the world, and it's good, I got to say I'm on board. I think that's exceptional. I'm very... part of me is actually pretty proud that I was actually able to get this beer. I don't know why. It's a simple pride thing. I was able to try it before out of a tap. The can's just as good. 5.0 on the TMDX Factor, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to do anything other than that, right?
You got 24.5.
And we were gifted, Danny. So we didn't even pay for this. We didn't even pay the price we would have been willing to pay. So we were gifted. It's an exceptional beer. When it comes to standard IPAs, this is at the top. It might be, top 3 that I've ever had. So for me, the X Factor is a 5.0.
Wow. I think this guy scored higher for this than the actual Heady Topper. But guys, it is in the first score, the battle of the IPAs from Vermont. The Alchemist Focal Banger scores for TMD a 22.
And for me, hey, that's a great score, by the way.
Great score. Huge score. We never get 22s. I knew it. You fucking wow.
For me, it's deserving of it. It's easily one of the top 2 or 3 beers I've had on this show.
Fantastic, Nate. Wow. Well, guys, I hope that you guys are enjoying it. I'm already feeling buzzed. We're back drinking alcohol. This is what we just did. It is from the Alchemist. It is the Focal Banger. Okay, I'm going to Mass at 7 o'clock tonight. Online Mass. I wasn't able to go today, and my girl gets pretty freaking mad when I don't show up to Mass. All right, so I'm going to Mass today at 7 o'clock. But in the meantime, I'm doing the beer show, and he drinks it all. Finally, dude. Yo, he cuts corners, bro. He cuts corners. Time to move on to the second one. We've heard a lot about it. I know Bubba 7700 is familiar with the actual thing, Fiddlehead. A fiddlehead is kind of like a dandelion. It's kind of like a weed that grows, and the Italian Americans love to cook it and eat it. Bubba has shown me several times his way of cooking fiddleheads. It's like a curly little dandelion. But today is the second beer from the Battle of Vermont. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the Fiddlehead Brewing Company, the Fiddlehead IPA. Boom.
Look at that thing. Look at the fiddleheads on there. What an interesting vegetable, by the way, or whatever.
Dude, Bubba loves these little squirts.
Does anybody know what's the best way to prepare fiddleheads? Is it stir fry? Is it garlic, olive oil? Go ahead, Dave.
What I like to do if I was doing it is I would fry it up in butter first. I would get it real good. Then I would make what I would do is I would make like a full clove of garlic. I would cut the top off, right? Just the top off. I would spice it with salt, maybe a little cayenne, some other type of seasoning, and then I would roast it in the oven. Then when it's done, I would squeeze it out, make almost like a butter paste. Then I would mix that up real good with more butter, and then I would pour it over the fiddleheads and just fry them.
Dude, it sounds like someone's been cooking at home. The fact that you just gave me a roasted garlic recipe here on the show, I'm quite impressed. So what temperature do you roast that garlic at?
I usually start off at 325 for about 12 minutes, and then I turned it up to 350 for 10 minutes. So anywhere between 22 to 25 minutes. It's going to scald the outside where it actually blackens it, but it makes the actual piece of garlic soft. And then what happens is some kind of cooking thing. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm pretty close, but I'm not a full scientist. It allows that salt and peppers and stuff to drop into it. So hey, then what you do is, and then you get the butter on the hot pan. You mix it around. And then you just squeeze that garlic. It plops in there almost like a butter paste. Then you get that thing going. Low the heat, though. You got to keep the low heat because if you don't, it'll just basically burn it up and dissipate it. Then you get those fiddleheads, right? You might even want to blanch them, okay? You do go ahead and blanch them for about 6 minutes so that they're a little bit soft and still, and then you just whack it on there, dude, and just, oh, man, you go to town on those things.
Hey, I'm impressed, man. It sounds pretty good to me. I would eat your fiddleheads. Thanks.
Well, I'm not going to be cooking fiddleheads tonight, but I will be drinking Fiddlehead IPA. I like this can. It's got something about it that reminds me of like fruit stripe gum. I don't know what it is, but it just reminds me of fruit stripe.
I know why. Because the fruit stripe gum, it had the zebra thing, and the Fiddlehead almost has a zebra-like kind of.
Yeah, or the lime green. It's lime green and white. I don't know. But hey, let's go ahead and crack them, smell them, and taste them. And Murphrod, please let me know what kind of wine do you want me to bring to Thanksgiving.
Sabrier.
Sabrier.
What are you picking up there in the nose, Danny? Ooh.
I can't wait to try Murphrod's green stuff again this year. Yeah, strong IPA. I'm getting a real good nose of like just some really concentrated, danky kind of goodness.
Yeah, two of these back to back. These are very dank, intense IPAs.
All right, well, let's go ahead and pour them out. We got 8 people in the room. Thank you so much. Go ahead, call your uncle, tell him to get on the show, pass it along. Guys, if you could, what would be really helpful is you go ahead and just share our video. Just share it on your social. Share it on your Facebook. Share it. Just put the little arrow thing and share. It's really helpful to us. But Nate, let's go ahead and try out the Fiddlehead IPA.
Oh, wow. Color. Holy shit.
Hazy, eh?
Yeah, look at that. This is so, all right. This is a hazy? No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's like very milky, though. Look at that.
The color.
Hey, look at mine.
American IPA. I know. Bruh. It's nuts.
Bruh. That. I'm getting a bit of a feet smell.
It's probably your breath.
Nah, I watch. All right, it's got a good smell to it. I can't believe how thick this thing is. This thing is like
looks
juicy
like
puree.
lemonade.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. We sniffed it. We cracked it. Let's go ahead and try it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Looks like a hazy, doesn't it?
Okay. Not bad. Be honest with you, my first impression is not so good. It's got the IPA taste. It doesn't
Really?
have the full smoothness to it. It almost like dissipates in your mouth and turns watery.
I don't know. I feel it's medium bodied. I feel there's a good amount of character there. It's lighter, right? You can tell the 6.2% versus the 7% of the Focal Banger. It doesn't have the booze that the Focal Banger had, and the Focal Banger wasn't boozy. So this is even lighter. Just before I was talking about how the Focal Banger wouldn't be characterized as crisp and clean. This almost feels crisper and cleaner to me. Just a little bit lighter. I like it. It's a good beer.
Yeah, no, by any means, it's not that I don't like it. It's got a great flavor. It is crispy. It's burpy. It's not bad. It's got the dank. But I want to answer Foosball's question right now. Foosball said best pizza city. That's not even close. Buffalo, New York.
Here we go. All right. The answer you're getting from him is incorrect.
What's got a better pizza city? Dude, no, not Detroit. Buffalo, baby.
Okay, there we go. I knew it.
You never even been to Buffalo.
Huh?
You never even been to Buffalo.
Yes, I have.
When?
You remember when I picked you up in Buffalo? I mean, it was a maroon. Yeah, it doesn't count.
I mean, yeah, you've been technically to Buffalo, but I can't get you to come to Los Angeles, which is 3 hours away. You're not coming to Buffalo to eat great pizza.
You're right, because I want to go somewhere with great pizza.
Okay, so what is the best city for pizza?
I don't know, but to be fair, when I usually order pizza in Vegas, I order Naked City, and it's a Buffalo pizza. I love Buffalo pizza. I don't know, probably New York City. Nowhere on the West Coast. I haven't had good pizza on the West Coast ever since I've been out here. For me, it would probably be New York.
I'm from Buffalo. I'm agree, but yeah. See, but the thing is, like, you can go to New York, and you can get New York pizza. You can get good pizza. You can get full pizza, but you can't get Buffalo pizza. You can get Detroit pizza in New York. You can get Chicago pizza in New York. You can't get Buffalo pizza. It's truly in a league of its own. I don't know how to explain it. New Haven, I have heard New Haven.
Sally's, dude. That's like considered the best pizza in the country.
I have heard that, Emily.
I've been there.
Several times.
Yeah.
I'm that's Connecticut. If you guys don't know, if you're watching over the world, Connecticut is another one of the technical New England states. It's like the last one before you hit New York. It's where ESPN is. A lot of people know that. A lot of people hear about that. It's where the old Whalers were from. But I've heard several times that New Haven was the greatest pizza place.
Their style's very different. It's smaller, right? And they have it's very flat. It's almost like a Grimaldi's Brooklyn style pizza with the char. But what their claim to fame there is the white clam pizza.
White clam?
Danny, you would lose it over the white clam. It's tons of garlic. Dude, Google. You want me to show you?
Yeah, pull it up. Talk to me. What's a white clam pizza?
Pepe's.
Emily, thank you, by the way, for watching. We really appreciate your support. Do you go there? Are you from New Haven, Connecticut? Have you tried this clam pizza?
Boom, found it.
Let me see that thing. Let me see that thing.
All right, dude. You are going to.
Oh, let me see it.
Hold on. I gotta present it. Give me a second.
Right.
Jeez. All right.
Jeez.
Pepe's New Haven. Boom.
Ooh.
Right here, dude. This thing over here on the right. Look at that white clam. That is, dude. Look at that one.
Hold on a minute. I can't get in.
What do you mean?
Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Where is it?
So it's all of those, but the white clam itself specifically
is the white clam.
Hold on, right here's the white clam. That's it.
Really, that thing,
dude? It is, Danny. It's a game changer, man.
It's got clams on it.
Yes, and a garlic and white sauce, like a white. There it is, dude. It's so good. There's your boy. There's your boy, dude.
I don't know, bro. To me,
Oh,
and foosball, if you're still here, this is where my favorite pizza in the world comes from a place called North Tonawanda. It's called Good Guys Pizza.
Whoa, sheet 50.
Dude, that is just a yeah. Even people in Buffalo are like, ooh, you ate Good Guys, you're not moving for a day. Like it's like white clam. Oh, Emily.
So I went there back in 2006, and I was taken up to New Haven, and I tried both. I went to Sally's and I went to Pepe's, and there's more there now. And Danny, I don't know if you remember this, but there's a burger from New Haven that you've been raving about. I don't think you've ever had it. It's the steamed burger.
Yeah.
With the onion on it, and it's got that hunk of mozzarella cheese. That's New Haven.
Apparently, that's the one that they, it started it. You can't go in there and ask for ketchup.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's onion, cheese, and the meat. That's it.
Yeah, it's in this like weird little contraption. It's not cooked on the thing right now. Buffalo's Pizza. I love it. So you talk pizza and you're getting people going.
Yeah, you're talking to all people from Buffalo. I can say the same thing.
They know what's up. Look at this. This comment may be the best comment I've ever seen. Good Guys is the best.
Is that Buffalo again?
Yeah. Ooh, I'm from Alden. Oh, dude. Foosball, go to Good Guys Pizza and just get it's one of the few, you know how onions on pizza can go wrong? Good Guys keeps them like raw still. And I don't know what it is, but dude.
Here you go. You guys want to see Good Guys Pizza?
Bring it up.
Here we go. I am loving the Buffalo pizza talk. I'm not going to lie. There you go. Good Guys. Look at boom. Look at that. That old school pepperoni.
Oh, dude. That's the
Buffalo by the slice. The Bocce Club, Wise Guys, Bob and John's, Imperial, Daddy-O's, Carbone's, Gino and Joe's, JJ's, Picasso's, Lenova, Lovejoy, Forno. Do you know these places, Danny?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I know. I probably 80% that's on there. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So I noticed here the square versus the triangular slice. What is the difference in Buffalo? Is there?
Typically you can always ask a place in Buffalo. They'll always do it if you could square cut it. But some places that's their thing. They serve it square cut. If you ask them to cut it like a pie, they will. For me, number one would be Good Guys. Number two would be Bocce's. I really like Lenova's, but there's a place called Just Pizza. It's a chain in Buffalo, and they serve a sesame honey crust. It's fucking bomb, dude. I mean, it's really
I don't
good.
think I would like that.
I know, me neither, but it's really good.
It's good?
Yeah, so for me, it would probably go, Good Guys, Tonawanda, then Bocce's, and then there's a place in Kenmore that's really good called Mustachios. It's really good. Man, I can't wait.
Guys, so if you don't know what it's like, it's kind of like a cross between Chicago deep dish and like a regular Neapolitan. It's like the thickness is in between. It's like a medium thickness.
I gotta go back.
It's usually in rectangular form. I think they call it a sheet. A sheet in 50 would be a sheet of the pie, and then 50 wings. Danny taught me that little one about 15 years ago. But sheet in 50 is super popular in Buffalo. If and whenever I go, I want to try a sheet in 50 with Danny. So while he's out, we'll talk a little bit about IPAs. That is the battle today is the Vermont IPAs. Talk a little bit about what is the IPA. It's a very, very popular beer. The number one most popular beer in the country outside of the lager and the macros. This is the one that's the most sold across the country. It is an ale style beer. Ales ferment at warmer temperatures, which often causes a more yeast derived flavor. On the right here, you'll see the pale ale flavors vary, but are typically quite hoppy. These beers are absolutely hoppy, very, very hoppy, and we got a ton of hops in both of these offerings. Here's 4 different styles of IPAs. You got the English, American, double, and the New England. right? So the English IPA, you can see the ABV. It really has a lot to do with that, 4.5 to 7%. Where it originated, I thought that was kind of cool to put that in here. What type of hops they're using. This is a really good breakdown of what each IPA might be like. Now, when you look over on the New England side, what do you see right there? The Alchemist Heady Topper. That's a New England IPA. That's probably the best one. So when you see like the type of beers here, Russian River, Danny, have you had the Pliny the Elder?
I have had Pliny the Elder. We have a Russian River coming up on Thanksgiving, folks. I found some. I was up in Fresno 3-4 days ago, and I picked some up. So we're going to be doing the Battle of the Russian River, Nate.
Man, that's a huge deal. Danny, great find. Some of the best beer on the West Coast. They probably rival, the Alchemist when it comes to notoriety just on the West Coast. But I really like this slide. We'll keep this in here whenever we bring up the IPAs. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm not going to get into all this stuff, but Danny, we've tried the Two Hearted Ale. That's considered, when we talk about an American IPA, the standard for the regional style brewery, not the super micro craft brewery like an Alchemist would be, but more that regional brewery of Founders.
Really?
A lot of your San Diego breweries, a Bell's Brewery, those kind of places. This is considered probably the most widely accessible IPA in the country.
I have a Bell's for you as well, Nate.
It's great beer, man. They have a double, and they also have a lighter version.
I'm going to be bringing you this one. Sorry about that. I have this Bell's. Have you guys ever tried this? The Amber from Bell's.
Very, very popular. Very good.
You've had it?
Yes, one time. I got it as a
We're going to review that sometime in December.
All right, so what do you drink an IPA out of? Is that
Nick?
Funny because look at, I got both these glasses. I got the Spiegelau IPA glass, which was designed specifically to drink IPAs out of, and I want to say within the past 7 or 8 years, this thing was designed. The Teku is obviously anything where you're going to want to pick up a nose. You're going to want to see what the characteristics on the nose are. You're going to use a glass like that. It doesn't matter, guys. You can use any glass, but if you're going to want to go down this road and you've got multiple options, these are the two glassware you would use for an IPA. The Spiegelau right there, laser cut rim, you can feel it when you have it. Very, very tight rim, right? The mouth opening, the bowl, the thin walls, and the grooves down here. This helps to aerate the beer, and it kind of gives you more nose in like this kind of vortex outside of the glass, which is pretty cool. If you guys don't have a glass like this, you can get 2 of these on Amazon for $28. I think it's worth it.
Wow, I don't have one.
I'm going to get you one. Beer pairings. So I used a barbecue one for this because IPA does tend to work well with, spicy, salty kind of flavors. So I used a barbecue and beer pairing. So for the pale ale, it says pairs well with aromatic or spicy flavors. Delicious with smoked pork belly buns. The pale ale complements the flavors of the pork as well as helps cut through the fat with robust hops. Now, that is what they recommend. What I recommend, and I found this online, I thought it was cheeky, I recommend to eat pizza with a beer like this. I like pizza and beer as a combination in general, but I think this combination would be phenomenal. What do you think, Danny?
I think it's great. Anytime you can stuff your face with cheesy, salty bread mixed with marinara and wash it down with a good beer, why the hell not? So
I went and I found this. I really like from, I think this is liquor.com. They do a lot of these articles. See like the top 5 stouts to drink in November, the 11 best IPAs to drink in 2022. So I thought it was pretty cool, and I wanted to highlight some of those. The best overall IPA is the Montauk Wave Chaser.
Wow.
Number 1, I've never heard of that brewery. Number 2, I never heard of the beer. Montauk sounds to me like Long Island, New York. I'm not sure. But I'm going to want to get my hands on that. The best easy to find, Danny, I think you've had this. I'm sure you've had it. Lagunitas IPA. Anybody can get a Lagunitas IPA.
They make the little something.
Yep. Best double IPA. So, man, this is pretty ballsy to say that the best double IPA in the country from a craft beer perspective is 21st Amendment's blah, blah, blah. I'm going to have to give it a shot. It's
what a great name.
It is. We reviewed one of their beers before, Danny. I think it was like watermelon beer or what the hell
Yeah,
was it?
a 21st Amendment. I forget.
It's been a while. Best triple IPA, the Sierra Nevada Optimum. Sierra Nevada's got great beer when it comes to these IPAs, no matter what, right? Like they're just classic. No matter where you're at in the country, Danny, you can buy a 6-pack of any of this beer. You're going to get quality beer. Best session IPA, Founders All Day. And the best American IPA is the Bell's Two-Hearted Ale. Again, another review outlet that is telling us to go drink the Bell's Two-Hearted Ale. I think it's an exceptional beer. If you guys want to try an IPA and you want to get a baseline standard, try the Bell's Two-Hearted Ale. That's IPA, guys.
Love it, Nate. Love it. This is what we're drinking now. It's called the Fiddlehead. It's the battle of the Vermont IPAs. This one's holding true. A little bit different of a look, a little bit different of a taste, but still a great IPA. Nate, take us on a brewery tour.
Boom. Let's do it. Fiddlehead, guys. All right. Love the logo. I think that's pretty cool.
Badass.
There's their credentials. They got a website. They got a decent Twitter and Instagram presence. Go check them out. Location, they are not in Stowe, Vermont. They are in not too far away. It looks about an hour drive, hour and a half drive. I'm not sure. But Shelburne, Vermont. Today's beer is the Fiddlehead IPA. It is named after the brewery, self-named, self-titled.
Love it.
The ABV is 6.2%. The untapped ratings, while they are not up to Focal Bangers numbers, man, they are up. It's still 107,000 reviews with a 3.91. It's still a very, very, very high quality beer. So I thought this was pretty interesting. Again, I like to go try to find reviews that people kind of describe what a beer might be like. So right here, I found this one. The appearance is a pale honey colored hazy IPA with a frothy white head. Danny, that's exactly what I got.
Yeah.
Pale honey colored hazy IPA with a frothy white head. The thick head shows good retention before leaving and a good lacing. I saw that too. It looks like a cloudy pineapple juice. Is that what yours look like?
Absolutely. And look, I'm just looking at the appearance. The cloudy appearance results from the use of 3 variants of hops paired with a unique fermentation process. I wonder what that unique fermentation process is. But obviously, this beer compared to the other one, the taste is very good. The taste is very good on this beer. But it's something to when you look at, is completely different looking.
So the unique fermentation process probably has to do with when they're adding the hops. Either they're going to dry hop it at the end. They're going to do, they can use fresh hops. They can use freeze dried hops. There's so many different ways, and it's just up to their interpretation on what a good IPA is. For the aroma, the beer exhibits aromatic notes of citrus, pine, and tropical fruits. Danny, what do you think?
Tropical fruits I taste. The citrus ones, not so much. But the tropical ones I taste.
Yeah. So I do pick up a lot of the citrus. I do get a lot of the citrus. But again, everybody's palate's different, and that's what makes you beer drinking so unique. Mouthfeel. So this is going to be a medium-bodied New England IPA. Here they talk about flavor. Fiddlehead is pleasantly bitter with a light malt base. That's what I get. Pleasantly bitter. That's what you want out of the IPA, but there's still that backbone of maltiness, which I really like. Yeah,
absolutely. It's a great way of putting it.
Food pairings, spicy curry dishes, heavy food, fried meat and sausage. Listen, I'm game with all that. The glassware of choice for the Fiddlehead IPA is a tulip or a snifter. I haven't had either of those. I had the Teku and I had the IPA glass, but just wanted to kind of show you what their opinion is on that. Their brewery, Fiddlehead Brewing Company, is a brewer-owned business, crafting approachable, multi-dimensional beers while growing responsibly with a focus on the arts and positively impacting those in our communities, one beer at a time. And this tells you a little bit of story. Danny, right there, that is their tap room. It looks so like...
That's my style.
Right?
That's my style, dude. I like that thing.
Beer pizza.
My God, yeah, that thing to me is like, it reminds me of summer camp.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just like the mess hall. I like the way that thing looks.
It absolutely looks like a mess hall.
Neato.
All right, so guys, they have 3 beers at Fiddlehead. Now remember, this is a small brewery, but because of how long they've been doing it and how good their beer is, they have a huge following, right? They've got 3 year-round beers. One of them is the Fiddlehead IPA, which we're drinking right now and talked a lot about. Number 2, which I think is considered even better than the Fiddlehead, is the Second Fiddle, which is their double IPA. So you've got Focal Banger and Heady Topper. Then you've got Fiddle and Second Fiddle. Those are going to be comparing to each other. 8.2% citrus tropical pine. And they have a white ale, which is called Ethereum.
I love it. Mikey's Porn Kitchen says it smells like kielbasa and pierogi to me.
Yeah.
I love a good pierogi. Nate loves a good pierogi. Nate, what do you like about pierogies?
What do I like about them? I don't know. It's a dumpling that's got mashed potatoes on the inside of it. I don't know what's not to like. But the question is, do you like them boiled or do you like them fried? And do you like them with ketchup or do you like them with sour cream and caramelized onions? That is the real question.
Everything. I like
all of it. You'll do all of it?
I'll do all of it. There's no better for me. You give them to me boiled. You give me with ketchup. I don't really eat ketchup with them a lot, but I can see where people like it. I eat a lot of sour cream with them. How do you guys like your pierogies? Pierogies are one of the foods that I miss the most about being away from Buffalo and back east because you can get them a lot, and I like pierogies with butter, salt, and pepper.
Yeah. For me, it's definitely caramelized onions and sour cream. That was kind of the Pennsylvania Dutch way to eat it.
Look at Coaster stuff. All right, so we're back. We're not doing any shots because Damien's not here, but once he returns, we will be slamming him down. Good to see you guys back. This is the weekly beer show. We'll be back here next week at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is what we're drinking right now. It's from Fiddlehead Brewing. It is called the Fiddlehead IPA. It is a delicious IPA. But now it's time for your favorite segment. My favorite. Hey, Strikeout. Welcome to the show.
Need to get these guys on the show again.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some guests again, big time. Nate, we got Kevin Smith will be in LA. He's coming from Pennsylvania. He's coming from Philly. He's coming out here to do some music stuff, so he wanted to stop by the studio. He'll be here. Even Kevin stops by more than you.
Kevin Smith from Clerks?
Mallrats? No, but my friend Kevin Smith that we had on the show. But anyway, next up, Lisa says tacos with a black heart. Not sure what that means, but hey, there's no better place to eat tacos.
Those are dumplings, dude, not tacos.
Oh, yeah, they are dumplings. No, are they dumplings?
Yes, she's talking about the pierogies.
Oh, Lisa's a pierogi eater. I've seen it. All right, moving on, guys. It's time for your favorite segment, my favorite segment, Nate's favorite, everybody's favorite segment. What would you rather? We got to think of some like signs or whatever. That's not it, is it? What?
I don't know what you're doing with your fingers.
No, how about this? Hold on. My fingers don't bend as good as they used to. What would you rather? What would you rather? All right. What would you rather, guys? Go ahead and let me know now. Let me know after the show. Doesn't matter. Please just let me know because I'm dying to know what would you rather do. In the first place, I'm going to give you a ticket. Now, this ticket is a very special ticket. A man came in a little too hot right now. He showed the graphic a little too fast, but that doesn't matter. Where would you rather go? Would you rather go into the past or would you rather go into the future? And we've done this one before, but it doesn't matter. It's always fun to bring up around drinking, eating pretzels, and talking about broads. What would you rather do? Would you rather go in the past or go in the future? Oh, great question, says Strikeout. All right. Now, for me, I don't know, man. To me, I'm pretty spiritual, but I don't really talk about it that much. So messing with the future is unknown. I would go into the past because I want to see. I would want to go in the past because I want to see what happens. But the future, I would go to Monday night at 8 p.m. to find out who won the lottery ticket or what the numbers were, and I would pick them.
God damn it. You went the money route?
Yep.
All right. So
Hell yeah.
I'm going to the past. I'll tell you why. Because if you look back at before we had camera phones and iPhones and whatever, and everybody had 10,000 pictures of what you did over the course of any fucking day during your lifetime. The old pictures used to be like a guy standing with like a fucking lantern. Like, I want to meet these people. I want to go back in time. I want to meet this guy.
People, if I'm going back in the past, I ain't going to see people. I'm going to see fucking dinosaurs. I'm going to see dinosaurs.
That's fine. You already answered. For me, I'm going to the past. I want to meet these people from like the gold rush. I want to go see the guys that went into the mines. I want to know what their teeth look like. I want to know what their breath smelled like. I want to know what those guys did where they took a shit.
First of all, wait, hold on a minute, bro. Why do you want to know what a man's fucking breath smells like and taking his shit?
Because I want to know what the common person was, separated by 100 years. That's interesting to me, right? I would love to know what those people were like back then. So for me, absolutely 100% the past. The future bores me. It's already boring me. Thanks, guys.
I have no care to see what anybody's teeth, breath, or shits look like. Lisa says she'd like to go back to the 70s. Lisa, you're from the 70s. Okay, I get it. I get it. For me, I'm going to the future to Monday night. I'm going to find out what the lottery is, and then I'm going to help people out with the $1 billion I win. All right, moving on to that's what I'm doing, bro. Moving on to the next one. This one's a little strange, but you might understand it, but here's the thing. Would you rather live in Vermont the rest of your life and become a beer snob? Or would you rather have a summer home there? So every summer you had to go away to Vermont. Oh, darn. They both sound awful. They both sound freaking amazing. Vermont's a beautiful place. It's full of greenery. Everybody's hip. Everybody's cool. Seems pretty liberal. Seems kind of nice, right? I don't know. Bernie Sanders. Down with the burn? Maybe. For me, I don't know. I could do Vermont. I could do Vermont every day. I'm going to go ahead and I could live there. That's what I'm choosing.
Yeah, I'm going to do a visit. I'm going to do a chalet that I can go visit 2-3 times a year. I don't know if I can do the whole Vermont thing every single day. I think I would go stir crazy. So for me, I'd rather a vacation home.
Lisa says, shit, look at Mikey's food kitchen. Hold on a minute.
Shit, laugh, skull.
Mikey goes back to 1941. I know exactly why. He's a huge history buff of World War II. And that would be, every summer. Okay. All right. Look, there's no right or wrong answer. Going with question number 3. Which would you rather, pecan pie or pumpkin pie? Tough decision, but ultimately not at all. Pecan pie, whipped cream all the way, maybe a little sprinkle like Salt Bay. I don't know, something. I'm going for it. Murph Rod, if you're watching, I'm coming for it. I'm coming for the pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Going on to the next one. What would you rather be? An old wizard on the right who has electric bolts and can, do whatever he wants to you? Gandalf or my good friend Zirzor. All right. Or would you rather be mixing chemicals and metals and be an alchemist? This one's a no-brainer. Although alchemy is kind of cool, you can change a lot of stuff. If you're a wizard, you still don't have superpowers like a wizard does. A wizard is never right or wrong or on time or late. A wizard is always right where he needs to be. A wizard has a sweet beer. Now that guy looks like Mark Trance. All right, he looks like my friend Mark Trance looks like that wizard. I'm going with the wizard, 100%.
Really? There's something. I mean, you couldn't look at it by the two tell by the two characters here denoted in the pictures, but there's something sexier about an alchemist than there is a wizard, man.
A wizard can perform wizardy things, dude. Are you crazy?
I'm done with them. I've seen wizards my entire life. The Wizard of Oz, have you heard of it? I've seen them all. Okay.
Wizard of Oz is not a real wizard.
It's interesting.
A Wizard of Oz is a shrimp behind a curtain.
You know what I'd like to create with my alchemy is create a cool guy. And when I do that, I'm getting rid of you.
Why me?
That's I have to. I gotta get. I got you.
Huh.
You got to take matter. You have to get rid of the
Oh,
matter to create something
all
good.
right. All right, you dunce. If you want to be mean about it, I'm just gonna go like this. And I'm gonna just blast you into 1,000
Oh,
particles. Pumpkin pie. Matter of fact, I'm gonna throw you into a. I'm gonna blow you up. Anyway, that got off the rails. Mike says pumpkin pie, pecans give him heartburn. Lisa would say either would be an honor, which is probably the right answer. And Emily says I'd rather be that weird looking Gandalf. Wizard all the way, dude. Come on, that's a no
fuck
brainer.
that! You guys are nuts. I want to
But
be
as an occupation, what would you rather do? Rake leaves or shovel snow? Both suck. I've done them many times. I'm going with shovel snow because I'm going to tell you why they both suck. Look, anybody that's lived in the Northeast or any place in the world that has leaves fall, the minute you rake them, 2 days later, they're back. Now they're
The
fun.
fucking same thing happens with snow.
Is my point exactly, dickhead? All right, look.
You want to shovel the heavier thing. Good job.
I like shoveling the snow because I feel like I'm doing more of the work. I actually really like shoveling snow.
Do you?
I do. I help my pops out. One, because I'm worried if it's
He
smoking
fucking
that he's gonna explode. But two, also, I just like it. Rake leaves says borrow. Hey, what about you?
Rake leaves.
Rake leaves.
Because so it's a fall activity versus a winter activity. So I'd rather be in the fall. I'd rather see the beauty of the leaves on the ground than that.
Yeah, but when I go back, I like gearing up with boots, thermals, a scarf, gloves, a hat, putting my headphones on to Rocky IV soundtrack, and just getting after that snow.
There you go.
Anyway, moving on. That was What Would You Rather, guys. This is what we're drinking. It's Fiddlehead from Vermont. It's a delicious IPA that we're really enjoying. Will it be more than what the Focal Banger brand? I don't know. Let's go ahead and try it out. Let's whack this down and give it a score, Dave.
I already whacked it down. Sorry. I couldn't help it. I liked it.
All right, taste. Although the color was not what I expected. It was not the traditional IPA that you would pour from a lunch or I don't even want to say Focal Banger from a Sierra. It's still outstanding beer. 4.0.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to say 4.0 as well. I think it's a really, really good IPA. I would love to drink another 4-pack of these.
Yeah, maybe we can get some. Price. What did this sucker cost?
It was $18 for a 4-pack. So that turned $4.50. Again, on the higher end.
But not bad. But although this is not, is talked about as the Alchemist beers, it's still a pretty good beer. And to be honest with you, if somebody says IPA from Vermont, buy it. All right, that's all I can say. 4.5, not the greatest price, but I feel like it's a good beer. It's a 6.2. It's a stronger beer. They give you a good 16 ounces. I'm gonna give it a score of 4.0.
Yeah, I'm doing 4.0 as well. I think for the price, $4.50, it's not offensive. And again, it doesn't have the cachet that the Alchemist has, but like Danny said, Vermont IPA, buy it.
Buy it. Massachusetts, buy it. All right, let's look at the design. I've alluded to you earlier that I liked it. It reminds me of Fruit Stripe, the gum. I don't know. The color scheme is really cool. I hate to say it on the JETS Sox Fox day that they beat the Bills, but the green and the white, I like the way that looks. I like the Fiddlehead. I like that Bubba 7700 cooks the Fiddleheads. I like this whole thing that they got going on. I'm going to go ahead and give the design a 4.0.
Yeah, it's simple, right? It's simple. It's a little cartoony, which I'm not the biggest fan of. But they also tell a story here, Danny. From killer concerts to can't miss cultural affairs, this IPA has been brewed for unforgettable gatherings, just like the one you're experiencing right now on the Weekly Beer Show. No matter which senses you've come out to satisfy, seek it at whatever happenings you happen to be at, and it'll make sure you truly savor every moment of those moments, every minute of those moments. Consider it a beverage-based boost for both heart and spirit and the soul-satisfying embodiment of our core conviction that the best times in life are better shared. I love the fact that they have that story on there. I think all breweries should be doing this. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us who you are. Give us an idea of what you stand for. It means something. They tell you big here on the side, Fiddlehead, Shelburne,
I like
Vermont,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Again, I also like not a sticker, Danny. They're embossing this into the aluminum. I like that. For me, 4.0.
Cool. Let's go to popularity. Unfortunately, this beer is probably not very well known outside the New England area. Its distribution probably will get better since we were able to get it, but it was sent to us from a friend, Gary. Shouts out to you. I'm going to go ahead and give a score of a 3.0.
Yeah, for me, popularity, I have to ding it a little bit if I'm going to go 5.0 for Alchemist and Focal Banger. Obviously, that has to do with the notoriety, how many people are trying to get that beer, and just the reputation. This is lower. So I'm going to go a 3.5 on popularity. Their distribution's low. That's not a bad thing, but their popularity is not quite as high as the Alchemist.
Agree. All right, TMDX factor. Like I said, Vermont IPA, I'm all in. The fact that we just done 5 weeks of no alcohol, I'm all in. I love this beer. I love IPAs. It is my favorite. When people go, ooh, I just don't like IPAs, I want to give them a slap. Or probably just say, hey, you probably haven't tried the right one. I think this beer is well-deserving. I think that it's fun coming back and getting a little buzzed off it. 5.0 for me.
5.0 for me as well. I mean, it's hard for me to. Gary sent this as well. Free beer for us. Something we would never be able to get our hands on the West Coast, Danny. It's just not going to be out here. So I feel very privileged to be able to try this. And I think it's held its own against an iconic beer like Focal Banger. The scores will probably say it came short. We'll see, but it's right there.
Yeah, Focal Banger, Alchemist, hard to go up against. But guys, the Fiddlehead IPA for me scored a score of a 20. A 20. Whopping score. How many times have we had a 20 and a 22? Not very often, if never.
For me, guys, it is a 20.5, a really good score for me. That does take us to the winner, Danny, between the two beers.
We already know.
And it was close. It's closer than we thought, right?
It was close.
Focal Banger and the Fiddlehead IPA. The Focal Banger came in. Sorry. Hold on.
Well, the final score.
I did the math wrong.
I got the math right here. The final score.
Go ahead. Final score is for Focal Banger.
46.5 is a 46.5. 46.5 out of 50. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty smashing. It's going to be hard to beat. The Fiddlehead IPA came in at a 42.5, which is also pretty damn good. But ladies and gentlemen, today's winner is the Alchemist. Bum, 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 bum. Focal Banger. All right. That is amazing. Great
awesome
beer. Sergio likes it. Sergio, the water puppet from Vietnam, likes it. Unbelievable score, guys. If you get a chance to try either one of these beers, I think you can't go wrong. And the reason is both of them scored above a 20. Both of them have a distinct IPA flavor. Both of them pack a wallop above 6%. Both of them are delicious from New England. Goodbye, Barrow. We missed you. We had a great show. I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with the die. I'm going to roll the die. And, okay, it rolled off the table, so I'm just going to let you know what I'm watching. Glory Road on Disney. It's about the Texas Western first all-black basketball team that was in Division I basketball. It's a great movie. I love Disney sport movies. They get me inspired. I feel emotional afterwards. Definitely check it out. If you have Disney, check out Glory Road. Nate, what are you doing?
Roll to 3. Listening to The Hold Steady. I am absolutely all over these guys right now. If you like early 2000s, New York City, punk rock, rock and roll, Bruce-inspired type, big band, orchestra kind of music, that's the fucking music for you. Go check them out. Hold Steady.
You know, you sent that to me, and I was like, it doesn't sound like Bruce the singer, but it sounds like the E Street Band.
It sounds like the writer. It's the writer. It's not the sound. It's the writing.
I don't know. To me, it sounds like the sound, but it doesn't matter. I haven't listened to it as much as you, so you probably have a better idea. Guys, I'm going to leave you with the quote of the way, and then we're going to sum everything up. And the quote says this. This one comes from us, from Vince Lombardi, okay? Going off the Phillies, going off the Bills, going off of whatever you got in your one. Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. All right. And I love this quote because I was talking to my friend, and like, somebody's got to lose, right? Even when you pray to God that you win, you still lose sometimes. And I think that's an important quote. I think this is something that we need to understand in our life, that sometimes we are going to lose. Okay. And we're not just talking about sports. Sometimes you're going to try for stuff, whether it be a test or an evaluation or an accreditation, and you're going to lose. Now, what you do with that is up to you. You can either, fail and completely just let yourself down and not go any further, or you can suck it up and try to win. It's like the old age-old, I don't know what the hell they call that. I sound like Joe Biden up here. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, sometimes, the battle is lost, but not the war, right? Okay, this is the thing. Everyone's going to lose no matter what it is. It's all relative to your life. Don't give up. Continue to work hard. Believe in yourself. Continue to go after whatever you pursue in life. I encourage you to keep at it. Thank you so much for watching this beer show. Hitsville, The Making of Motown was a great documentary. Oh, I heard about that, Mike. I want to check that out. I hope that you guys are able to take Vince Lombardi, who was a football coach, and, intertwine this quote into your life. Nate, come on back, my man. We had a great time. We got drunk again. I'm definitely feeling it. We're going to hang out, Nate, and drink another beer. I'm going to drink that 5 habanero porter pepper. And thank you so much for everybody. Nate, do you have any closing words?
I can't wait to have the 5 pepper porter with you, man.
Nice. Bro bump. All right. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Spread the word. If you could, please, on either Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever your social media is, just pass the word on. Tell people what we're doing. Next week's show is Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Just let people know what we're doing. We review beers. We have a good time. Thank you so much for watching. That's Nate. I'm Travel Man Dan. Remember, it's a big world out there. Make sure you see every bit of it. Bye, guys.
Hey, you want to do Maine next week?